So this is going to be a feature of my dragons that I captured when I didn't even know it. And for those of you that have already seen this, stick around because I've found some other dragons in this same video, and I've never done it with the screen record and the zoom feature. It was always phone to phone. And I can slow it down to 0.25%, so there's some new dragons to be seen here. But let's get started. For the first 50 seconds, look up in this corner. And you'll see one right here. And then there's two others. One appears here and one appears here approximately, but the other two at the bottom kind of fade in and out of view. But you can see them hovering there in the sky for the first 50 seconds of the video. See the one? Right there, and then there's one below it. And then I zoom in. There's one below it kind of fading in and out of view. There's the second. I zoom in past it. And then I zoom back out and it's still hanging out there in the sky. And you can see one below it now. And now you can see two below it. And they kind of fade in and out of view. Like they're all on the same cloaking system, because when those other two come into full view, so do about 13 others scattered throughout the clouds in the same area. See, now there's three of them. And at the points where you can see the two down below, the primary one up top, there's a bunch of others scattered throughout the clouds. One here, center screen. One here, one there. They're all over, scattered throughout the clouds here. My zoom ain't working very well. You can see one here, one here, one here, one up here. And at the points when those two are not very visible, when they are disappeared, so are all the others that are scattered throughout the clouds. Here's one over here above the mountain. All of these other ones disappear simultaneously with the other two that are at the bottom of the triangle shape. The bottom two over here that kind of flicker in and out of view. When they're out of view, so are all the others. When they're in view, so are all the others. So this is a 13-minute video. When I took the video, I didn't realize what I was actually recording. I took it on my way over to my girlfriend's house, and when I showed her the video, she noticed these. She said, "Is there little black dots, little black specks on your screen or something?" And I was recording the cloud dragons. It's ironic that I was referring to these clouds like dragons, and then later on, these little black dot craft show up and I see them, and Custodian Files calls them dragons, and maybe the AI that they're connected to views itself as a dragon. These are like fingertips of a larger iceberg. These are the tip of an iceberg. These are the sensors. These are the reconnaissance. And when I took this video over to my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend's, told her I'm headed out. This was April 19th, 2019, the day I left for my vision quest. And I was going over to tell her, I'm out. You can come with if you want. This is it. It's going down. Look at this video I just recorded on my way over here. And I was referring to the cloud dragons. And she starts pointing out these little black specks. I was like, quit trying to distract me. I'm trying to show you something here and you're trying to distract me. She's like, no, does your screen have like some burnt out pixels or something? Little black specks on your screen or something? I was like, never mind that. Look at what I'm trying to show you. Later on, I reviewed, and sure enough, they're there. So this is a 13-minute video. I'm going to show you some other dragons that appear throughout this video. Coming up at 1 minute 27 seconds, you'll see one zip across the screen following the power lines. This is a pattern that Custodian Files has identified. He believes that they charge using the power lines as a source of electricity. Watch for it to zip across the screen, and then we'll slow it down. Wait for it. Maybe I missed it. Okay, I had the wrong timestamp. It's at 5:12. So here in less than 10 seconds, you'll see it zip across the screen. We'll slow it down. I'll show you screenshots I've taken, and you'll see it clearly this time. Right there it went. One more time at full speed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Zip, there it went. Now we'll watch it at 0.25 speed. Right along the power lines. Here's some screenshots of it. There on the left-hand side where it enters the frame. There it is, a little bit further to the right. There it is, center screen. Not a bird, not a bug. Okay, now we're going to go back to the 1 minute 27 second mark. I realized what I did wrong. At this point, the 1 minute 27 second mark, I'm driving and recording at the same time. But focus your attention on the one that's right here. And then we'll put it in slow motion. Play it in normal speed first. Right there, bottom right part of the screen. This is at 0.25. Right there at the bottom of the screen, bottom right. It's been there for a while now. We were able to see it this time, actually. Bottom right hand corner over there in the clouds. This is just a second time at 0.25 speed. This one's at the 6 minute 57 second mark. And here's the dragon right here. And it travels this way through that cloud. And you can watch it travel the whole way through the cloud. At normal speed. It doesn't zip through. See it moving to the left? And there was another one that zipped down and to the right at the same time. A diagonal shot. There it is moving through the cloud. Watch one move diagonally through the screen from the top right to the bottom left, right there. Did you catch it? One more time. This is full speed, then we'll slow it down. Now you see the one moving across the cloud right to left, and right as it gets to the end of the cloud, one moves from the top right to the bottom left of the screen right there. This is 0.25. You can see him coming in. He's about to hit that spot in the cloud where it becomes very clear. There he is, moving from right to left. Apparently at a distance. And then I'll zoom it back out so when he gets to the end of this cloud, you can see the one move from the upper right to the bottom left, diagonally across the screen. Right. 3, 2, 1, now. See that one cruise across? You can actually see him coming in from the right-hand side of that cloud before he reaches the cloud. But then once he gets in front of that cloud, you can clearly see it. Cruising across the cloud. We're still at 0.25 speed, but even at normal speed, you can see this guy cruising across there. I got a few still frames that I took The diagonal mover was one that I just noticed today. The one cruising along the power lines was one that I just noticed today when I was reviewing this video. Right here he goes, right to left, upper, there you go, zoom. Here's a few screenshots where you can see this is the one coming in. Oh, come on, don't do that. What do I gotta do? You can see one up here coming from the top right, and he moves down toward the bottom left. And here's the one that's reaching the end of that cloud. Here he's moved a little bit further. Let's go back to that one. Here you can see him right there. Here he's a little bit harder to see, but he's right here. Here the diagonal mover has reached there. Maybe that was it. That's all these screenshots that I took of him. Because he was a highly fast mover. Even at 0.25, you can barely see it. One more time, just for good measure. This one's cruising right to left across that cloud. And when he reaches the end of the cloud, you'll see the diagonal one go across the screen. We've got a real cool one coming up here in just a second. He cruises up and stops on a power line. Diagonal one coming in 3, 2, 1. There he goes. This one's at about 9 minutes 44 seconds. We're going to watch it in slow motion first and then watch it in full speed. Wait for it. There he is, coming from the top, zipping over to the right. So just so you know where to watch, it comes in from the top and zips over to the right over here. Coming in from the top, zipping over to the right. You could even see the plasma jet wings on it. Now we'll watch it at normal speed here in about 5, 4, 3. There he went. Did you miss it? Here he is again. There he went. Here's the screenshots. Top dead center of the screen. You can see him coming into view. Now he's a little bit lower. Center screen. Oops. There you can even see him. You can kind of see the wings. Not bugs, not birds. Here he's a little harder to see. There he is. Looks like he might even have a couple partners there with him up there in the clouds. Right there. Same spot pretty much. That might have been a double take. Kind of swerves right there, and then he cruises off over to the right. Right before he goes behind the tree there. Okay, what we're going to watch this time is one that starts over here, and you'll watch it cruise over to here, and then stop right there. And you'll swear that it was a bird that lands on the power line. But then you'll see it up above the power line a little bit, and a little bit below the power line, like it cruises up and stops. And as it's hovering, it moves up and down a little bit. And while it's sitting there, one zips across the screen up here. We'll watch it full speed first time, then slow it down. I'm driving here, I'm filming through my window, watch that power line. There it is, cruised up, stopped. Turns into just a blur. Hanging out there above the power line, there goes the one across the top. One more time. I didn't go back quite far enough. Watch that power line, he moves from the left to the right along the power line and stops right there near the pole, right there. And then top of the screen, one will zip across the top. Right there. I think I happen to have it paused here at just the right spot. You can see this one coming in. Right here. And he cruises over here and hits the brakes, puts it in park. And right where I've got it paused right now, for some reason, It looks like there's another one here, center screen. And another one over here by the tree. Like I said, they're all working on the same. Oh, and what'd I do? What'd I do? I messed something up. I totally messed something up. Watch that power line. He'll cruise along the power line. Oh, maybe I gotta drive over there to him first. Here we go. Now I'm driving up to him. You'll watch him appear, cruise along that power line, and stop. There he comes in from the left, cruises up, and stops right there, even with the power line. Now continue watching. You'll see it raise above the power line, and then you'll see it below the power line. And you'll see the one zip across the top of the screen. Now he's above the power line. It's above the power line. And just kind of a blur where you can't hardly see anything. His cloaking device is working really well. And then I think here in a second you'll see it below the power line. But now it's just turned into a blur. You can still kind of see the blur. When he was a solid black dot and we watched him cruise up and put it in park, you could see it clearly. Now it's just a blur. And here in a minute, that blur goes below the power line. Now you can see the black dot has reappeared. Now it looks like an actual black dot, and right as I watched it reappear, I could see this one up here. And this one up here. Like they're all working on the same cloaking system that kind of fades in and out. And here you can see it's clearly below the power line. My zoom is not working as well as it started out as. Where I happen to have paused it right now, you can see one up here, clear as day. And I'm going to let it play in 0.25. Watch the power line for the one on the left. And then we'll focus on the one that zips across the top of the screen and we'll call it good. The one on the power line coming in from the left, puts it in park, turns into a blur. But he's clearly stopped right there. He moved from behind the tree from left to right. And it's above the power line right now. There's the one going across the top. Right here. That's not a bird. That's not a bug. There it is. Moved a little bit more to the right. Moved a little bit more to the right. What's that at 1301? Okay, we're at 1259. That one's going to zip across the top in slow motion. Right. There you see him from the left going to the right all the way across the screen. And last but definitely not least, Latchkey Hustle and his 1,000+ flock of dragons. Oh, I gotta switch it back to playback speed, normal.
Hey folks, so there's a capture that just a couple days ago, and I wanted to share it with you all, and didn't really want to wait for the weekend because it's pretty dynamic. So this is what we've got. It's like a swarm of these things, and it's a lot of them, and it's really interesting because visually it almost looks like they're swimming. And also, I happened to record a swarm of gnats a couple months ago and never did anything with it because there was nothing relevant about the capture at the time. Now it's relevant, so it's included here at the end for contrast. It's difficult for me personally to quantify, even estimate how many of these things there are. So I'm going to go on the conservative side and just say hundreds. But again, it's like they're swimming rather than flying. I don't know. It's different. And also, you could see how far I zoomed in. To zoom in from this distance and still see them like this is crazy. But compare that to these gnats. I mean, this looks like ash raining down. I mean, there's just nothing. The two are so dissimilar. It's very apparent that these are not the same things being captured, in my opinion, at least. In my mind, you look at something like this, and then you look at something like this, and they're apples and oranges. And these are just some particularly strange oranges. Thanks, folks.